Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Crawford Long Middle School Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the Go Team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the present public are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Long Go Team to order at 5:37 p.m. Our first order of business is to call roll. The secretary will now take roll.
Natasha Hall, are you present?
Present.
Chandra Kruger, are you present?
Present.
Dr. Tucker, are you present? Dr. Tucker? Dr. Tucker? I know he's here. Hold on. Dr. Tucker, we need you. Where'd he go? Okay, let's see. I'm gonna send him a message. Sorry, I'm sending him a chat. I'll go on to Ms. Barnes. Are you present?
I'm here, present.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And yes, we heard you. Thank you, Dr. Tucker. And I, Harriet Onice, am present, as is Ms. McCall. Okay, we have a quorum.
This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Ms. Delnice, is there a quorum present?
Yes, there is.
Right. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you, and there's a link in the chat for you to connect to it. Are there any changes to the agenda?
With activity participants, time is now 5:40. Teachers, please release all students to the bus lane.
May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion to approve the agenda.
A second?
I second.
All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstained. We will review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The minutes have been provided to you. Are there any corrections?
I'm sorry, I'm posting them right now.
Thank you. That's a good. May I have a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes?
I motion to approve.
A second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain. All right. Our first order of business will be to discuss the school strategic plan development process. It's yours now, Ms. Booth.
Okay, good evening, everyone. As Ms. Hall said, tonight we will be continuing with the 2025-2030 school strategic plan development process. The purpose is to cascade the district's strategic plan to the school level while grounding our focus in the school's continuous improvement plan, and some may know it as the SIP. This will create alignment, reduce confusion, and simplify our efforts. The timeline allocated. Our school's 2030 strategic goals and objectives should be updated, approved, and ranked by January 2020. Schools will focus on the strategies as part of FY 27 budget and continuous improvement plan processes. Revisiting the APS 2025-2030 strategic plan, we are a community of believers getting back to the basics. I'll give you a minute to review this information as I read over briefly. Our strength is our team. Atlanta students will have effective and engaged teachers, leaders, and staff. And here are some of the strategies listed under there. You will see increased concentration of highly effective teachers and leaders, prioritize engagement and retention for staff, and grow and promote stronger teachers, leaders, and staff. Our responsibility is shared. Atlanta students will have supportive families, communities, and partners. Build meaningful partnerships, expand Atlanta Partners for Education or APFE impact, and increase access and engagement for families and communities. And our system is efficient and effective. Atlanta students will have the schools and resources they need to succeed. Maximize facility usage for student and community good, leverage data to drive strategic financial investments, and implement sustainability initiatives. We are strengthening our instructional core. Our students will have high-quality instruction materials and targeted support. Implement high-quality, relevant, and engaging instructional materials and professional learning in all core content areas. Target resources towards subgroups. Those subgroups include exceptional ed, English language learners, and economically disadvantaged, and accelerate early learning. We are caring for every child. Atlanta students will have trusted, supportive adults meeting their unique needs. Expand strategies that reduce chronic absenteeism and disproportionate discipline. Implement systemic culture and climate strategies. Increase student access to trusted and reliable adults such as mentors, coaches, and counselors. And last but certainly not least, we are sparking student curiosity. Atlanta students will have access to explore and expand their passions and interests by us promoting robust arts, athletics, world language, and enrichment offerings, expanding access to high interest and workforce-ready offerings, which include career programs and pathways, and advanced coursework, and also explore specialized and innovative school models, such as the School of the Arts. Now, of course, we do have our mission, our vision, and our strategic goals, and the goal team's purpose and their focus of course, governance. Now, the school strategic planning process overview. First, we have right now, there are 4 meetings that have a main focus of this process. And tonight we are at the business meeting number 3. And with this process, first we'll review the data, align the mission and vision and purpose, confirm the 2030 SIP goals based off the review of the KPI or the key performance indicators. And we reviewed that previously. Identify 2025-2030 strategic objectives. And that's where we'll reflect on our 2020 to 2025 strategic plan, and we'll review and discuss additional objectives going forward and approve our strategic plan and rank our strategic objectives for fiscal year 27. Now, in our last meeting, we reviewed our school data, we aligned our mission and vision, and we confirmed our 2030 goals. Now, our proposed updates to our school mission and vision. Based off of our last meeting, we were not going to make any changes to our mission and vision. Our mission is Crawford Long Middle School cultivates a community of lifelong learners and leaders that are empowered to globally compete and access future opportunities. Our vision is to build a community of compassionate innovators, creating opportunities for themselves and others. Now, let's look at our goals in our 2025-2030 strategic plan. Our first goal, and all of these goals are based on our key performance indicators for 2030. Goal 1, by 2030, the percentage of proficient and above learners as accessed by the GMAS End of grade ELA will increase by 20.5% from 13.8% to 34.3%. Our subgroup goals, EL will increase by 10.5% from 5.9 to 16.4, and SWD will increase by 10% from 2.9 to 12.9. And again, these are goals for 2030. By 2030, the percentage of proficient and above learners as assessed by the GMAS end of grade math will increase by 20.5% from 17.3% to 37.8%. Our subgroup goals again, EL will increase by 10% from 13.7 to 23.7, and students with disabilities will increase by 10% from 2% to 12%. Our third goal, by 2030, the CCRPI attendance rate will increase by 15% by ensuring chronic absenteeism as determined by the Georgia Department of Education does not exceed 10% days absent for the student's enrollment period greater than 30 days, with an emphasis on the following subgroups. For African American scholars, 47% to 62%, and Hispanic from 75% to 90%. And goal number 4, by 2030, the percent of students without suspensions will increase 22.1% from 69.9% to 92%. And I'll give you a minute to review those goals for our literacy, numeracy, our attendance, and also our behavior incidents. Now tonight, in this meeting, we are at step 4. We're going to identify 2025-2030 strategic objectives. We're going to reflect on our 2020 to 2025 strategic plan, and we're going to review and discuss additional objectives going forward. Tonight, we're going to identify our 2025-2030 strategic objectives. Now, we've reviewed our strategic plan several times. Now, using our new 2025-2030 strategic goals as a guide, we will complete a start, stop, and continue exercise to review our current strategic priorities and identify our 2025-20 to 2030 strategic objectives. Are you all able to see this information? This was presented previously. This includes our mission and vision that was just stated. Of course, our mission and vision, we were not changing. This also includes our SMART goals for this school year by increasing our student achievement performance on the Georgia Milestones end of grade in ELA by 5% from 13.8 to 18.8 by May 2026. And in mathematics by 5% from 13.1 to 18.1. Now, our major focus tonight are our strategic priorities and initiatives, but more so our strategy, our school strategic priorities. Our priorities are listed in the middle, but if you are, and let me go back and I will actually annotate. So this will be our focal point, the actual school priorities, and they read as follows. Our first priority is to improve student mastery of reading, language arts, math, social studies, and science content knowledge. And you notice that there's reading and language arts. Also, 2, to implement the STEM program model. 3, prepare all students for college, career, and life. 4, implement goal setting, student ownership, and growth mindset opportunities for all students. 5, build teacher and leader capacity. 6, recruit, develop, and retain highly talented faculty and staff. 7, utilize systems and resources that identify and address root causes to promote social and academic growth. And 8, inform and engage school families, partners, and community members. And again, our focus are on the priorities that we had listed from 2020, and we're going to focus on 2025 to 2030. Now, at this time, we're going to stop this discussion and we're going to focus on some guiding questions. Our guiding questions are as follows. What current priorities and activities are not having the needed impact and should be stopped? And again, it's based off of our school strategic priorities. And are there any priorities or activities that are no longer aligned with our mission, vision, or focus area? Think about what has been working, has been completed, and never started. And if our goals for 2030 are bigger than what we have achieved so far, then what must we do differently going forward? So at this time, what activities are not having the needed impact and should be stopped? Or if there are not any, please let it be known. And are there any priorities that are no longer aligned with our mission, vision, or goals?
That is 2A. Could you tell me what 2A says? I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Implement project-based learning throughout schools, focus on STEM.
Okay. Okay.
So as you all are reviewing, please, if there are any possible changes or stops to any of our current practices, please let it be known, or otherwise, if there are not, we could possibly move to our next slide. But I will say from the lens of the principal that our current practices based off of data, and you will see some at the end, right now is taking us to the right direction. We know that Rome was not built in a day, and any organization, it takes 3 to 5 years to see change. But right now, especially as under the tutelage, under my tutelage as principal, right now I can say many of these priorities that we have focused on, all 8, they have seemed to work. We really need to, in my opinion, continue some of these priorities and focuses so it will get us to our goals for 2030. So at this time, does anyone have any practices, priorities, or activities that have not impacted, it should be stopped, or are there any priorities that are no longer aligned with our mission and vision?
I wanted to piggyback on what you just said, Ms. McCall, because I think a lot of times we try out different things and we don't stick with anything long enough. And so I'm glad to hear you say that you're seeing that we're moving in the right direction and we should keep on doing what we're doing. And that seems to be a good idea, because sometimes I think we stop too soon and then try something else. Over the years, that's what I've seen.
I second that motion, Ms. Delanice. That's exactly what I was about to say. Thank you.
That's good to hear. So now, with that being said, what current priorities and activities are working well and should be maintained? Think about what has been working, has been completed and never started. And if our goals for 2030 are bigger than what we have achieved so far, then what must we do differently going forward? I'm going to say something that I have seen truly have worked. The investment in all stakeholders. And when I say in all stakeholders, from our scholars to our teachers, but at the same time, engaging our families and partners and community members, because they have allowed individuals to see some of the great things going on in Crawford Long and not just really focus on the negative stigma that has been placed over the school because of the community. So I think really informing and engaging schools, families, partners, and community members has truly worked, but at the same time, building the capacity of teachers and leaders. And when I say build the capacity, just making sure the support is provided and support looks like support. Of course, there's not going to be a perfect remedy to solve all concerns and problems. But I think overall, those two and really engaging everyone has truly helped us, even when it comes to student achievement and mastery. Because if we all know, based off the theme that we have, one team, one goal, all scholars. And I think now we are beginning to collaborate even more to focus on student achievement, but at the same time to make sure teachers are supported and developed so they can also improve, which hence will support that student achievement. So I think right, these 8 things listed in totality are truly allowing us to really hone in and focus on student achievement and allowing us to get to where we need to be. So right now, out of those 8, if anyone would like to come off mic, or if not, fine. But are there any of these priorities that you feel should be kept, or should we continue to focus on all 8 of these priorities?
I think we need to continue to focus on all 8. I especially like the focus on STEAM and STEM because it gives some of my students that are special ed an opportunity to shine in a light that they're never allowed to. So I definitely like the project-based learning portion of what we do.
And I will say, Ms. Kruger, that will possibly be a change on number 2, because if you notice, it only says STEM. And with the talents that our students possess, that arts piece is very big. And of course, with our band, our chorus, and even with our art department, and even although we don't have a dance teacher currently, but just a dance team, I think we may need to just add that A and implement the STEAM program model, because we're doing it, but truly focus and being intentional on that arts part connected to the STEM. As you said, even all students are able to feel successful in some component of that STEAM model. So I think that adding that A, the arts, would be something that we may need to update in our priorities.
That's awesome. That's great.
I have a question. With adding that A, would that change the path that we're already on, with like certification or anything, or
No, because
will
I
it
will
just?
say that will possibly enhance us, because right now we are Cognitive certified, but to be Georgia STEM certified, you have to have an identified cohort and things of that nature. So almost like if you're or former APS student, almost somewhat similar to what magnet programs are. So that would actually increase those students in that cohort, especially if we add that A, because even if you're not, let's say, great in science, technology, engineering, and math, that's their arts component that still can be embedded within that STEAM model. So, no. Does that answer, Ms. Hall?
Yes, it did
Okay.
answer my question.
So I will move on to the next slide if there are no further questions. Now, so based off of what we just discussed, it seems as if we will be keeping all 8 of the goal objectives listed, but the only major change we will implement is, instead of focus on the STEAM model, we will implement the STEM model, we will implement the STEAM program model. And other than that, it seems as if we'll possibly keep the other 8. The other 7. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
next slide. So of course, our focus is to increase the literacy, numeracy, focus on the whole child. And again, so we can foster academic excellence for all, build a culture of student support, equipping and empowering leaders and staff, and creating a system of school support. Where Where are we going? At our next meeting, we will vote on the 2025-2030 strategic plan. We will rank our 2025-2030 strategic objectives. We will begin the discussion of the 26-27 budget. Let me or the chair know of any additional information you need for our future discussion. So if there are any items that you may think of, whether it's tonight or next week or before our next meeting, please reach out to myself, Ms. Mccall, or Ms. Hall, our Go Team Chair, so we can make sure that information is discussed. Are there any questions? Okay. If there are no questions, now we are moving on to the principal's report. As you all know, CCRPI is pretty much the school's report card. Each year in October, November, the state releases a CCRPI score that provides a totality of the school, and it focuses on, of course, student achievement, but at the same time, I do apologize. But at the same time, there are indicators that include content mastery, progress, closing the gap, and readiness. Before you see the scores, I'm excited to say in some areas Crawford Long did see growth, and in some areas we did decline. But as I stated previously, the work is currently being done. And so when I provide you with this information, you will get a more detailed view of the areas that we declined in. And I would love for you to even pose questions if necessary, or if you have any, I'm sorry. Now, our first area is content mastery. In content mastery, we were at 31.6. Now, content mastery focuses on students scoring proficient or above in ELA, math, science, and social studies. We did see some declines in ELA, science, and social studies, and science and social studies are only tested at the 8th grade level. But those declines were, although they were minimal, they did not allow us to get to the content mastery score, the increase that we could have possibly had. But I'm happy to say, although that we saw declines in some content areas, our CCRPI score in content mastery did go up 0.6 of a point. So where we were at 31 last year, right now we're at 31.6. But I'm proud to say that right now with the work is being done, especially even with our map data that we just received, we are going in the direction for our content mastery to increase again at the end of this school year. Now, when we look at progress, and let me go back. When we're looking at content mastery, the CCRPI score, if you go into the dashboard for the state of Georgia, I think the earliest year you will see is 2017. I am proud to say this is the highest content mastery score Crawford Long has had since 2017. And I became principal in 2023. And from 2023 until now, those scores have continued to rise. But again, since 2017, this is the highest content mastery C.W. Long Middle School has seen. And I'm very proud to say that. And I'm even prouder for the work that our teachers and students did for us to receive this score. Now let's look at progress. Again, this goes back to, as I stated previously, we're currently at an 84, 84.0. We are up 6.8 points. And as you can see, progress focuses on ELA, mathematics, and progress towards ELL proficiency. So those students who take the access test, their scores actually count towards our progress score, especially as it comes to their movement with performance bands. And again, I am proud to say, since 2017, this is the highest score. Last year, we were at, I think we were at about 76.2. But this year we are at a score of 84 for progress. I can say that with progress, and that goes to the growth of students. Content mastery focuses on achievement, whereas progress focuses on growth. And we have actually surpassed the state average with progress. I think the state average is 83.6. So Long Middle School has surpassed that average. Now, the next two areas you're going to be looking at is readiness and closing the gap. That is where we saw our two declines. In closing the gap, we saw a major decline. We saw a major decline in closing the gap because the closing the gap truly focuses on our subgroups. So ELL students, economically disadvantaged, and also our special ed population. Now, the major thing about Long Middle School is that we are 100% ED. So when it comes to our targets, it's the same students, but it's different students. The grade level is the same, but the students testing are different. So if you meet a target or a goal, that next year, you not only have to meet it, but you have to surpass the target and the improvement target that was set for you. I will say in math, we did meet a lot of the targets, but our performance in previous years within ELA science and social studies, that did allow us to not meet our improvement targets. But I'm happy to say that we are already working towards that work. But although we went down in that area, that content mastery and progress really shows the amount of work that's being done here in the building. Now, when you look at readiness, we actually went down in readiness. Last year, we had a score of 65.7. We went down 4/10 of a point to 65.3. And I'm happy to say that we went up actually when it came to our students' reading level. At or above grade level, we have seen a major increase in the last 2 years with the number of students who are coming out of Long Middle School at or above reading level. But the area that we declined in was student attendance. Our student attendance did drop last school year, and that's why we're doing major pushes to ensure that we celebrate our scholars and even their parents, because we have been sending home certificates to parents for those scholars who have perfect attendance. But we are really honing in on that attendance piece because that is what where we saw our decline for that 4/10 of a point for readiness. And beyond the core, those are just those connections classes or those courses that our students take. We did see an increase in that also. So kudos to our connections teacher. So right now, as I stated, yes, we did see some declines, but at the same time, content mastery and progress, those are the two areas where you get a bulk of the CCRPI percentage points from, and we did see major increases in both of those areas. So a huge shout out to our scholars and the teachers for the work that is being done, but even a huger shout out because all of the planning for this school year was done at the end of last school year and also at the planning table during the summer. So I just would like to also thank the assistant principals because as I'm doing this work, most of the time in isolation, they're coming in behind me and we're collaborating to ensure that the strategies and the decisions that I have initially made, they are able to not only lay their eyes on it, but make any adjustments that are needed based off of both quantitative and qualitative data. So a huge shout out to the assistant principals and instructional coaches also for supporting the work, but even more so for the teachers being engulfed in the work and the students for making sure that this work is being done. So a huge shout out to the entire Long Middle School family, because I always say we're not where we want to be, but we are growing and making progress towards where we need to be. Now, I will allow our cluster advisory team rep to take over as she gives the cluster advisory team report. Okay, it is on you, Ms. Delnice.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I couldn't figure out how to unmute myself. So the cluster advisory team meetings presented to us different discussions and ideas about the charter school system, which is still in development. But one of the things that they emphasized and that we discussed in our breakout rooms was the importance of increasing attendance. And a couple of the schools, including ours, agreed that the different reward systems and incentives that we give for improving attendance has had a positive impact on attendance numbers. And I would say that's a summary of
Okay.
what we've discussed.
Great. And I'll just add on, our counseling team is doing a fantastic job. Dr. Jones, Miss Pringle, Miss Stinson, and Miss Barksdale, they're working with the scholars, Miss Livingston, the entire WCI and CART team to ensure our students are not only here and any barriers are removed, but at the same time, they're celebrated for coming to school. So as Ms. Dale Neese said, I just a huge shout out and kudos to the team at Long Middle School for not only making sure they're intentional about the attendance, but at the same time, as Ms. Dale stated, they're also in alignment with what the cluster is doing to ensure our scholars are here. So thank you, Ms. Dale for that report.
You're welcome.
Again, I think the final APS for 2040 meeting was held at John Lewis Invictus, at Herman J. Russell on December 2nd. Again, we continue to, even though those meetings have ended, we continue to want our students, staff, parents, and community members to hear their voice and assist with building a vision around the 4 topics of technology, arts, early college, and biomedical, so we can see our focus and vision for our schools as we engage in the next 10 to 15 years. So if you were not able to attend any of those meetings, you still have the opportunity to give information and also to review our comprehensive long-range facilities plan. The link is provided in the presentation for you. So if you have any additional questions or concerns, please make sure you view the facilities plan, but at the same time, if there are any additional meetings, you allow your voice to be heard at those meetings. Announcements. Currently, we are celebrating the 12 days of Christmas here at Long Middle School. Tomorrow, our scholars, we ask that if they participate to wear holiday hoodies and holiday character hoodies. But of course, what is the winter season without a winter concert? So our C.W. Long Middle School concert band, chorus, visual arts program, and theater arts students, they would like to invite you to their holiday winter wonderland matinee on Thursday, December 18th, 2025 at 1:00 p.m. So we will be having a matinee so our parents and friends and families can come out and see our students during the day at our holiday matinee. So any parents or families or community members that would like to come out and see our dynamic band, chorus, and the work of our art students and theater art students, again, that will be Thursday, December 18th at 1:00 p.m. Also, I'm very proud to say on next week, our faculty, staff, and scholars will receive some great treats and some great holiday gifts from our dynamic partners. So in advance, I'm not going to say some of the things they will be receiving, but in advance, I would like to thank all of our partners. And I will, at the next meeting, I will highlight you more specifically once those items go out. I would like to thank all of our partners for supporting us, not only during the holiday season, but the entire year. So thank you to all of the partners and individuals who will be making the holidays here at Long Middle School one for the books. I thank everyone for joining. I thank the Go team, of course, as we enter and as we end our last meeting for 2025. I wish each of you a happy holidays with your families. I hope you enjoy. I hope you relax and rejuvenate. And I will see you again in January at our next Go team meeting. Back at you, Ms. Hall.
All right, we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? All right, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
A second.
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstained. The Go Team meeting has been adjourned at 6:15. You guys have a great holiday.
Everyone have a great
holidays.
Happy
holiday.
holidays,
Happy
guys.
holidays.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
next year.
I want to win. But we
Happy holidays.
Bye, Ms. Barnes. Thank you.
Bye. I'm gonna bring something for y'all next Friday.
Oh,
I got
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Y'all have a good night. Everybody be safe, please. Download